So, you've got this big dream, right? Studying, working, or maybe even moving to an English-speaking country. Well, there's one key that can unlock that door, the IELTS exam. But with so much info out there, it can feel kind of overwhelming. Where do you even start? Don't worry, we're going to break it all down for you, step by step.
Welcome to The Explainer by IELTS Guide Phil on YouTube. In the next few minutes, we're going to pull back the curtain on this test and give you a really clear, simple path forward.
Let me ask you, are you planning to study, work, or live abroad? If you're nodding your head right now, then you are in exactly the right place. The IELTS test was basically designed for people just like you. Okay, I want you to think of IELTS as your English proficiency passport. It stands for the International English Language Testing System, and it's the gold standard all over the world that proves you have the language skills you need to succeed. So, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll tackle that big decision, academic or general training. Then we'll dive into the 4 parts of the test, we'll decode the scoring system, share some super important do's and don'ts, and then we'll wrap it all up with a simple roadmap to get you started.
All right, first up is the most important choice you're going to make before you even think about studying. Are you on the academic path or the general training path? Let's figure that out right now. It's pretty straightforward, really. On one side, you have the academic test. This is for students, for professionals. It tests the kind of English you'd hear in a university lecture. On the other side, you've got general training. This one's for things like migration or work experience, and it's all about practical, everyday English.
Let's make this real. Imagine you're applying to study engineering at a university in Melbourne. Well, that university needs to know you can handle dense textbooks and write complex essays. For that, you absolutely need the academic test.
Okay, now let's flip that. What if you're applying for permanent residency in Canada? In that case, the immigration folks want to see that you can handle daily life. Understanding an email from your boss or reading a rental agreement. That's exactly where the general training test comes in.
Okay, so once you've picked your path, everyone, and I mean everyone, faces the same 4 challenges. So let's break down the 4 sections of the test.
First up is listening. It's about 30 minutes with 4 different recordings. You'll hear everything from casual chats to serious academic lectures. But here is the catch, and it is a huge one. You only get to hear each recording once. That's it. No do-overs, no replays. So focus is absolutely key.
Next is the reading section. You get a full hour to read 3 long passages and answer 40 questions. If you're taking the academic test, you can expect texts from journals or newspapers. For general training, things are a bit more practical. Think ads, work handbooks, that sort of thing.
Then we have writing. It's another 60-minute section, and you've got 2 tasks to complete. Now, task 2 is an essay, and that's the same for everybody. But task 1, that's where your path really matters. Academic folks will describe a chart or a graph, while general training people will be writing a letter.
And finally, we have the speaking test. It's just a short 11 to 14-minute conversation, face-to-face with a real human examiner. It starts out easy with some questions about you. Then you'll give a short speech on a topic they give you, and it wraps up with a deeper discussion. It's designed to feel as natural as a real conversation.
So you've made it through all 4 sections. Phew, but how does all that work turn into a score? You've got to understand the scoring system, so let's decode it.
So IELTS uses this 9-band scale. You'll get a score from 1 to 9 for each of the 4 skills, and then an overall average score. Just for some context, a band 7 means you're a good user, and a band 6 means you're a competent user. Most people are aiming for something right in that range.
So, what's the magic number? Well, for most universities and a lot of professional jobs, this right here is the sweet spot. The target is usually somewhere between a 6.5 and a 7.5. That gives you a really clear, concrete goal to work towards. All right, now for some mentor's advice. Knowing the rules is one thing, but knowing how to actually play the game is something else entirely. So here are the absolute essential do's and don'ts to guide you. You absolutely have to practice with real, authentic materials, and always time yourself to get used to the pressure. Most importantly, answer every single question. There is no penalty for getting an answer wrong, so a guess is always better than leaving a blank.
Now on the flip side, please, whatever you do, don't leave answers blank. Don't write less than the word count. You will lose points for that. And here's a big one for the speaking test. Don't memorize answers. The examiners can spot them a mile away, and it sounds so unnatural it actually hurts your score.
Feeling a bit overwhelmed by all this?
Don't be. Seriously. Success on the IELTS is all about having a good plan. So let's map out the road ahead.
Here's a simple 12-week game plan. Start by taking a practice test to see where your weak spots are. Then, you spend a few solid weeks just building up your skills and vocabulary. After that, it's all about time practice, developing strategies, and taking full mock tests. By the time test week rolls around, your only job is to rest up and feel confident.
And I want to leave you with this thought. Preparation really is everything. You know, the great thing about the IELTS is that the format is predictable. It's not trying to trick you. And that means that with consistent, focused effort, getting better isn't just possible, it's pretty much guaranteed.
So, the only question left is, are you ready to start your journey? Are you ready to go out there and unlock those incredible global opportunities that are just waiting for you?
This explainer was based on material written, created, and produced by IELTS Guide Phil. If you want to keep going, you can read the original full blog post over at IELTSGuidePhil.com. For more video explainers like this one, stay right here on the YouTube channel. You can also find deep dives on the podcast on Spotify and get more great advice by joining the community on Facebook. All of the links for all of that are waiting for you in the description below. Thanks for watching.